The obesity problem in America and the inactivity in America and the dietary habits in America are costing our country dearly.
If you're evaluated as obese, what we'll see is you're going to get heavier and heavier and heavier, and we'll just, I don't know what we do.
This current generation of children may be the first generation of Americans in over a century that may have actually a reduced lifespan.
Physical education really has failed. We need to find a different mechanism, a different way to extend ourselves to reach out to young people in this country so that we can ensure that they have a vigorous and healthy lifestyle.
PE used to be more sports orientated.
You had a basketball unit, you had a badminton unit, you had a, let's say, a wrestling unit.
Now it's going more into everyday activities that children can do on their own without having to organize a large group of people. More lifestyle activities for the future.
The new PE is inline skating, and I think it's rock climbing. I think it's doing cycling type things. I think it's skateboarding. It's giving kids choices to be active. It's building fitness centers inside of the gymnasium someplace.
We want to be able to work with our children from when they're very young, show them greater ways to work with their fitness levels, and I think the Polar programming will enable us to do that, to give us some records, some data to be able to carry from K through 12 that all phys ed teachers would have access to and be able to plan and implement a program that will work for that individual child's needs.
If we're asking other classroom teachers to collect data on math and reading and science, what am I doing in physical education to collect that data?
Polar allows us to do that through the instant information that the students obtain from the watches, and then when that information is transferred to the computers.
We can download their heart rate, display it on a computer screen, and display it to them.
That keeps them on task, and it keeps them involved.
If I'm working hard, it tells me I'm working hard. I've been in my heart rate zone for about half hour, so that means I'm going to get an A+ for this class.
At any time during class, they can see what their heart rate is at. Also, they can see how many minutes they've been in that target zone of theirs.
I've been in my target heart rate zone for 14 minutes.
My heart rate is about 130.
The technology levels the playing field where all kids have to be in their zone, and it's harder for a top-flight athlete to get in their zone and stay in their zone.
I find the equipment to be very easy to use. I think there's truly a learning curve, to be honest with people, but once you get familiar with it and your students are familiar with it, it'll be second nature to everybody.
At first it was really hard, but it's getting a lot easier once you know how to do everything.
It's comfortable, and it's like almost not noticeable. Once you start running, you don't feel it at all.
The durability of the technology that we've used here in Grundy Center has been really, in my mind, incredible.
We just made the children aware that this is not the type of equipment that you can just fling around. They take good care of it, almost as if it was their own piece of equipment. The nice thing about the Polar technology is that we've been able to share the data with other subject areas.
There is a strong interdisciplinary connection here. Once you utilize target heart rate zones, you have the aspect of mathematically having to calculate that in a class. So we can demonstrate to classroom teachers that we can do math in physical education.
The science department actually asked us for a copy of some of our heart rate data, and we whited out the names of the children. They plotted a graph. So the program that originally started out being used with phys ed and health, we were now able to use it in science as well.
As a whole, Polar has been wonderful to work with.
Thank you for calling Polar. This is Jackie. How may I help you?
Technical support does a wonderful job of answering questions for you.
There was no charge to any of it. Everything was under warranty.
It's that personal relationship. It's not just this big company that you order equipment from.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
When you add up all the supplies that you add up in the course of a school year, the amount of money that we spent on the Polar Tri-Fit system was really not so substantial when you consider the benefits that we get out in terms of integrating learning and physical fitness.
To have a second grader be reading labels and saying, well, you know, I think that's got a little too much fat content, Mom, and to know that his heart health is so critical and so important, it's a wonderful feeling to know that your children are being instilled with that at such a young age, and then you really can truly hope that their lifelong health will be impacted by it.
You can strengthen your heart and make your heart more healthy, because if you don't have a healthy heart, you can have diseases and cancers and die and stuff like that.
We have the technology that will assess the fitness of kids and what they're putting into it and getting out of it. We have that. why not take advantage of those things?
The bottom line is that we want students to be healthy, to make the right choices, and it's our obligation to assist them and guide them in that, and we think the Polar system allows us to do that.
Once you understand that there is a different practice, a better practice, something that's good for kids, how can you not do it? It's malpractice.